We are at week 15 in the Credit Genius video series. I'm Chuck Carstensen, Carstensen Team Remax Results, and we've been sharing this video series so you can gain insights on how to be more effective when it comes to getting a mortgage. And in this one, we're talking about the dangers of being a cosigner, not necessarily if you are the one needing the loan, but what if you're somebody to cosign? You're going to want to watch this video to see what they talk about in this one.
Hello, and welcome back to the Credit Genius U Credit Education Series. In this week's episode, we are discussing the dangers of choosing to cosign on a debt. To better understand the inherent dangers in cosigning for a debt, we have to first discuss what it means to cosign on a debt in the first place. Let's walk through an example to help paint a clear picture of what it means to cosign for someone. Let's say that you apply for an auto loan at your favorite car dealership. One of the first things your salesperson will do is to pull a copy of your credit report to determine your credit worthiness. Now, let's say your credit is not exactly where it needs to be in order for you to qualify for your dream car. The helpful salesperson might recommend that you get a cosigner. Essentially, this is someone with a better credit rating than you have at the current time who can sign on the loan accepting responsibility in the case of default. The thought process here is that if you default or get behind on your payments, your cosigner will likely pick up the slack because they don't want to damage their good credit rating. Furthermore, if the lender has to take the case to court at any point, they now have two people to go after instead of just one. This entire process creates a situation of reduced risk on the part of the lender. Okay, so far this sounds like a really great option to help you or anyone you know get financing that may not be approved otherwise. And if you are the person that needs the cosigner, then you are likely jumping for joy at the thought of using this alternative route to get approved for your next car, credit card, or even home mortgage. But not so fast there, Speedy. What about the person cosigning? They are the person taking all of the risk in this scenario, and this is why we strongly warn you against cosigning to help a friend or family member get approved for financing that they would otherwise be denied. The idea here is pretty simple if you think about it for a moment. The person with the good credit rating has everything to lose, and the person with the poor credit rating really isn't taking much risk at all because they already have damaged credit. And while we understand how good it feels to help a friend or family member in need, you need to ask yourself two important questions before taking on this risk. Number one, are you really prepared to make someone else's payment for them if they stop paying or get behind for any reason? And if not, are you comfortable damaging your hard-earned credit rating for that person? Number two, if a lender who is in business to lend money has determined that this person is such a high risk that they won't lend to them, why do you think you should take on that risk? I mean, after all, the lender has profit to gain in the form of interest, so they are willing to take some risk in this transaction. You, on the other hand, have nothing except the good feeling of helping someone else to gain. The bottom line is that no matter how good someone's intentions are, the credit history they have is likely damaged for a reason, and you need to really think about the very real risk that cosigning represents to you and your good credit rating. Our advice is, if professional lenders won't take on the risk of lending to someone, you probably shouldn't take on that risk either. We see far too many cases of well-meaning friends and family coming to us for credit repair because they co-signed for someone else who defaulted on a loan or other extension of credit. Well, that's all for this week's episode. We will see you here next week for our final installment of the Credit Genius U Credit Education series titled, What's Your Real Name? Until then, thanks for watching, and remember that with a little bit of work and our help, you too can be a credit genius.